So we are currently live on stream, and we've decided that we're going to have a look at pretty much all of the new Link monsters, primarily focusing on the legacy Link monster support, because it's really interesting that they have decided to bring back old decks through into the new era, like things such as, God, how far back does it go? It goes back to like Glad Beast. So really, some really old decks getting legacy support in the form of Link monsters. So in no particular order, well, I've got the new ones first up here, just to review them, sort of thing. So I mean, I haven't read most of these. I don't really know how most of these are gonna go. I think I've glanced at some of the new ones, but most of these I haven't read yet. So let's just see first of all. So this is the new Shaddoll one. So the artwork, if anyone's wondering, maybe I can get it up, is why is it not letting me type here? Please enter a URL. Okay, there we go. Right, so just random fact here. So you know how like Decatron has his art here? You see these like little like, they're like fucking Christmas bulbs. They're literally like Christmas light bulbs, right? So the Infernoid store Clifforts, Shaddolls, and Necros, I think? No, not Necros. Some other archetype gets stored by the Infernoids and they protect the world from something. So yeah, you see like constructs basically inside a Christmas bulb thing, and that belongs to Infernoid, so that she's like locked away. So, you know, it's just random bit of information there. I don't know if that's a play on the fact that she's banned or not. I don't. Is she still alive in the OCG? I'm actually not sure. But at least in TCG she's banned, so I don't know if there's any sort of like humorous call to that with the artwork. But yeah, she's like prisoned by Decatron in this picture. That's really what's going on there. So anyway, let's move on to the effect and read it. So Light Fairy, same as the actual Shaddoll. The arrows are interesting. It points left and right. Oh wow, 1200 attack. That's nothing. Jesus. 2 flip monsters. So I did have a glance at this one earlier, just because it's Shaddoll, and like obviously I'm gonna read that first. And like before I even read the effect, before I like, it doesn't matter how good the effect is, it doesn't matter how broken the card is, like, and what it can do. The very fact that this needs 2 flip monsters to make just is really disappointing. It's far too difficult to summon the new construct. That's just really it. Like, she's too hard to summon, and this is why I think the card just isn't very good. Now, I haven't read the effect yet, really. I know that she sort of floats, I think, but like, just the fact that this is too difficult to make makes this probably not viable enough to be, you know, a super meta contending deck. And you know, that's not to say like Shaddolls couldn't really be, you know, okay with her or anything, not at all. But like, if we're talking in terms of having the ability to win an event, I just don't understand how it's going to do that when the requirements rather is 2 flip monsters. It's just quite like obviously it's not going to be Shaddolls that you make her with, because Shaddolls don't have any way of putting lots of flip monsters on the board. So she might be good in other decks, but in terms of Shaddolls, the deck that she's designed and made for, I just don't see what the like how are you going to get her onto the field. So anyway, her actual effect is during the main phase, you can fuse into 1 Shaddoll fusion from your extra using monsters from your hand or field as materials. Alright, so that's like sort of effect number 1. So basically, she doesn't need polymerization. You can fuse her with something in your hand to make a Shaddoll. And that's really good. That's really strong. And I think it's actually really broken when you pair it for the second effect, actually. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 Shaddoll card from your hand or face up from your field to the grave, and if you do special summon this. So like, her effect is absolutely amazing. Like, it is really strong. So you're kind of understanding why her arrows are left and right, and that makes complete sense why her arrows are left and right and not down in any shape or form, because now you can put 2 extra deck monsters on either side of your field. The idea here is that what you want to do is when you actually somehow miraculously fucking get her onto the field, that's the battle with this card. That's like the mountain to climb with Construct. If you can somehow get her onto the field, then it's amazing, because you just fuse her with like a beast in your hand, summon like, I don't know, Winda, and then you draw a card, and then you can ditch like Falco or some shit like that, or Hedgehog, and then special her back from the grave, fusing the window away. Sorry, not fusing your window away. You special her back by pitching, and then you special a card, and then she comes back onto the field, and you don't need like a link zone pointed to her because she's coming from the graveyard. So now you have 2 zones, so you can extend with things like, I don't know, like instant fusion, or I have no idea what Shaddoll's can play to make them better. But yeah, like you can see the combo here. You fuse her away and then bring her back instantly. Like that's how you're comboing her off. But again, the very fact that you can, like, it's just too hard to make. Like 2 flip monster, I just don't understand how you're going to consistently get her onto the field in the first place. But when you do get her onto the field, it's very, very good, right? So that's kind of like just my thoughts on that. I mean, these are very, very, very early preliminary first impressions. Like I have no idea how it's going to go, and I haven't looked at it in much detail at all, so I don't really know how it's going to end up. But just initially, like right now, I think it's just, you know, if you finally do manage to summon her, then yeah, it's so strong, but getting to that point is a struggle. So let's move on. Crowley, the origin of prophecy. Now I have no idea if this is relevant to Crowley from the anime, but yeah. So 2 spellcasters, that's very, very generic. That is extremely generic. So I don't know how easily spellbooks can get 2 spellcasters on the field. Probably not that hard with like life, and I don't know. I'm sure there's like generic spellcasters you can special onto the field these days. I want to say, what's it called? Chocolate Magician Girl? Doesn't she like get onto the field easily or something? That's probably not her. This is Alistair the Invoker. It's Dr. Crowler in the anime. Yeah, right. Interesting. So anyway, it's a dark spellcaster with bottom left and right, and it requires 2 spellcasters. So that's very generic. I feel like this will probably be quite easy to make in some decks. I don't really know which deck, but I mean, okay, just reading the effect now, glancing at it, it's very related to. Let's zoom in actually, so you should be able to see it as well as I go along. If this card is link summoned, you can reveal 3 spellbooks with different names from your deck, and your opponent randomly picks one. You can use this once per turn. Each turn, level 5 or higher spellcasters you normal summon can be summoned without attributing. So I'm really kind of uncertain how you're going to get this guy onto the field into the first place to be able to take advantage of that second effect. But you know, the +1 rota is like, well, it's not really rota, but like, you know, the initial effect is quite good. Apprentice Magician can special summon her. So, okay, yeah, right, sure. I think that's actually cool as well. Is he in the tube as well, like Decatron? I feel like that's the same Infernoid prison. I don't know. I mean, he's dark, so he's probably done something naughty. So I don't know how you're going to take advantage of the second effect of this guy. So yeah, I mean, it's got a really good effect. I'm just concerned at how you're going to special summon two spellcasters onto the field and then be able to somehow normal summon again. So maybe if it said something like you gain an additional normal summon of a spellcaster without attributing, that would make it good. But you're probably going to use your normal summon in the turn you make him in the first place. So this second effect you're not even going to use, like, probably. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's all right. It's good. I mean, just, you know, trying to find like ways to make these cards is really the hard part. So next one is Insector Picafrina. So dark insect, bottom left, bottom right, 1000 attack, 2 insect monsters. So a little tough to make in Insectors, since unless you have Dragonfly like opened, like it's quite hard to get multiple insects onto the board. I think, I'm not 100% sure. I played Insectors in 2014, funnily enough. I played Insector hands. Don't know what the synergy was, because that's like fucking 20 normal summons in the deck. But anyway, it is quite a cool deck. I did quite enjoy it. Like, it still has like really good combos. It's just, you know, like you have 1 Dragonfly and 1 Hornet, so that's really all you can do. So 2 insects onto the field, I don't know how good that is. Insector Metaphors is a thing. Well, actually, yeah, I can kind of understand that. But just getting 2 insects onto the field can be a little bit hard. But I do know that she's like she is a rota, I think. If this card is linked, someone discard 1, target 1 other insect you control, Oh, one other insect you control. And equip one insect monster from your deck to it as an equip with this effect. The equip monster gains 500 attack defense. Okay, so I just need to clarify something here. So let's say I summon her to the field, and I already have Centipede up. If I use her effect to equip something random from my deck onto the Centipede, does that Centipede get the effect, or is it only when it like detaches? So that's what I want to know. Anyway, you can target 3 insects in your grave, shuffle them into the deck, and draw a card. Okay, interesting. So that's quite cool. Now, I can kind of see this working perhaps in Metal Foes, that there is a bit of synergy there, because you can pop your... shit, what are the traps called again? Counters? No, not counters, the other one. Combinations, and you can get searches for them, because... like Insectors, if they go first, they don't have anything to pop, so they can't like really trigger their guys. But if you're popping like your traps and stuff, that's kind of good. That's kind of useful. And you know, Metal Foes are pretty consistent, so it's not like hard to get a decent scale set up and special to Insectors, pendulum summon to Insectors kind of thing. And then you make this, and yeah, you can do like some really sick plays if you open well enough. But I mean, that is like a 4 or 5 card combo. Pop a thing, attach the Centipede, search Dragonfly, pendulum summon it, attach something, pop it, etc. Hornet pop combination. Yeah, like the fact that you can rota into Hornet with this thing is actually like really good. That's actually a really interesting combo Duncan posted. You can pop something with attach the Centipede and then search. Yeah, so like if you open like Centipede, scale, and like random thing, like you can pop the that's still like 4 or 5 card combo, but it's pretty generic 4 and 5 cards. But yeah, it's quite good. I just hope, like, you know, it's again, the issue like I'm seeing in the theme I'm seeing so far is they're just too hard to make. 5 card combo for a +2 seems legit. It's not a +2 though, because like if you like go for, if you search Dragonfly and go from there, like that's like really strong. Okay, next one, the Hieratic. Did I miss one maybe? A more recent one? No, okay. Hieratic one it is. So I read this one a while ago. It is actually really, really good, I think. So Dragon Light, bottom left and right. 0 attack, linked to 2 dragons. Once per turn, once per opponent's turn, if this is in the extra monster zone, tribute 1 monster from your hand or field, return 1 face-up card on the field to the hand. So that already is like really good. If this card is tributed, special summon 1 dragon from your hand or deck, but its attack and defense becomes 0. So I think we all know what we're going to special from the deck with this. It's going to be Red MD, obviously, and you can only use that once per turn. I think it's a hard once per turn. You only use this effect of Hieratic Seal of Celestial Spheres once per turn. So yeah, being able to, you can tribute Hieratic from your hand and then bounce a card and then special something from your deck during your opponent's turn only, however, is that's really crippling, I think. But it's super generic. Like getting 2 dragons onto the field, like I don't know how you get 2 dragons onto the field in 2017, but there's like a fucking million dragons in this game, so I'm sure there's somehow, some way you're going to be able to make this easily turn 1. And the fact that it just fucking gets Red MD is like, you know, really good. Yeah, like it's just like special Red MD with this thing. Like it's really, really good. And there's probably something stupid that you can do with this, like somehow, some way. I just don't like that it's once per opponent's turn that you do the bounce thing. God knows how many fucking like FTKs you can do with this thing if you could use it on your own turn there, so who knows. That's probably a good thing that it's only on the opponent's turn, because we'd see all kinds of... The fact that Firewall bounces your own cards during your turn when you summon it turn 1 is obviously... That's what contributes to like most of the stupid FTKs that that Firewall contributes to, because you can return things from your grave to your hand and then use it again, and then... Anyway, let's not get into a debate about Firewall. But yeah, this is really good. I'm just not sure what you would put it in just yet or what you'd use it with, but there's so much potential here. So much potential. Mermail Abyss Alicia, bottom left and right, 1600, 2 fish, sea, and or aqua. Okay, interesting. So we can make this with basically 90% of the Mermail deck. Monsters this card points to gain 500 attack and defense. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During your opponent's turn, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, add 1 Mermail from your deck. During your opponent's turn. Okay, interesting. Send one card from your hand to graveyard as a cost, and then add a Mermail. Right, very good. It's a rota, like during your opponent's turn. So you just like from your hand. Okay, right. So I mean, like you could just send infantry, right? That's fucking strong, isn't it? If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, send one water from your deck to the grave, and then target one monster in your graveyard. Special it. Okay, so that's really good. That is really that's amazing. Send one water from your deck to graveyard and target one monster in graveyard and special that. Why is this bad? Like this is good. This is really strong. I mean, during your opponent's turn, it's a rota and it's disruption, and then then it floats, and like this is really good. Like I don't really know it's what Mermail's needed, but my god, it's so good. Like it's only bad going second. I mean, you can crash it. It's only bad going second. The deck can, yeah, exactly. It's like you don't want to be like setting up going second. It's Mermails can't do anything turn one, sort of, I think, and this card actually really helps that, because the Mermail deck has just become this like silly OTK thing, right? So it's nice that they now have a card that lets them kind of just do some kind of setup on its first turn, and it's good because it doesn't do anything stupid. So you know, it's I like it. It's good. It just gives your deck first turn options. Like it's an extra deck monster. It's not like you have to play like a bunch of bricks to play her. Like it's just there if you're made to go first as Mermail. Like now you've got disruption on your opponent's turn. You've got floater on your opponent's turn. That's one of the problems with Mermail. They couldn't do anything going first. So, you know, strong. I like it. I don't know. Like, I think it's very good. I think it's solid. It's not like broken, but that's fine. We don't want broken cards. We want just fair cards. All right, Mermail, Glad Beast next. I haven't read this, so 2 Glad Beasts. Again, just quite tough to get 2 Glad Beasts onto the field, I think. So it requires setup, but hopefully it doesn't do anything broken. Bottom left and right. If your Glad monster attacks, it can't be destroyed by that battle. And your opponent's card effects can't be activated until the end of the damage step. It's an Armades. At the end of the battle phase of this battle, return it to the extra and special 2 Glad Beasts with different names from your deck. Okay, interesting. All right, yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Strong with that. My Glad Beast Link monster is horrible. Why is it horrible? This is good. It's only there for the recent support. Good luck getting this out. I mean, oh, it's only if the opponent attacks it. If this at the end of if this card battled. No, if you attack with it as well. Yeah, like that's what? That's really good. Oh wait, I thought the Armades effect applied during the special summoning of these two, so it's not. It's at the end of the battle phase, not during the damage step. You special 2 guys and then pop their cards and they can't do anything. Too much work to get him out. Yeah, I mean, like again, like it's hard to summon. Like all of these cards so far have been hard to summon, except the Mermail one. That one is like really generic. Rather summon Mrs. Radiant. Okay, right. I'm pretty sure you'd rather summon this guy instead of Mrs. Radiant and Glad Beast. I don't see why you would summon Mrs. Radiant and Glad Beast. I don't know much about Glad Beasts, okay? Anyway, let's just move on. It's fucking Glad Beast. But it's good. I think it's really strong. Okay, so the Lightsworn, I read the requirements again a while ago. It's so bad. It's not bad. It's just so fucking impossible to summon this. Like, what the fuck? Like, Raiden's a warrior. Lila's a spellcaster. And, like, Lumina's a spellcaster, I think. Like, what else are you gonna summon? Like, realistic. What else? Like, what were you gonna play Felis in your deck? Like, fuck that. I don't want to play Felis. Like, Wolf is a beast, I suppose. So you have to like have Raiden on field with Lumina and then get lucky and mill Wolf or something to summon this thing. It's so fucking terrible. Like, I mean, it's got 3 arrows, so it's like fucking crazy. But like, it's just too many requirements. Like, just, fucking make that. Trick Clown. Alright, yeah, Trick Clown, actually. That's cool. Yeah, 3 is too much. I think it should have been 2 and then just maybe water down the effect. I can't even remember what it does, but if this is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's effect while its owner controls it, target a card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Alright, that's cool. That's really strong. I mean, it's a very good mid game. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this is Link Summon, send a card from your deck to the grave. Okay, so we can like send Wolf, we can, well, does Wolf summon itself? I would assume so, yeah. So you can send Wolf to summon it, you can send Felis to summon it. Trick Clown. God, like you can do anything in the game with this thing. Like, send one card from your deck. Like you can fucking do anything. Like you could literally do anything in the game. But yeah, it's too hard to summon. If a card is sent from your deck to the grave by a card effect, send the top 3 cards. Oh wow, so you can like send Glow Up Bulb and then mill 3? That's fucking broken. That's so good. I'd rather someone decode over there. Yeah, like Orpheus Scorpio makes it as 1 card. Okay, so are those light? I don't know if those are lights. Let's have a look. Let's see, Scorpio, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's dark. Seraphonite's light. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Okay, anyway, point is, it's too difficult to summon. But it's, I mean, if you do make her, like, there's probably stupid combos with her. Because, like, send anything you want in your entire deck to the grave and then mill 3, like, Jesus. That's fucking insane. You make it with earth monsters. 3 monsters with the same attribute but different types. Okay. So I suppose the fact that I've kind of fixated on the fact that you need to use lights is actually wrong. So if we think about, you know, maybe using 3 darks to make her or 3 earths, then it's probably really easy to make for some decks. It's just, I don't know what else to make it with. Seraphonite, Thousand Blades, and Invoker. You make her with an Earth Gem Knight. Invoker specials, Thousand Blades. Okay, so like there are ways to make it, but you know, maybe it's better. Maybe this is better. This is okay. So this is better in non-Lightsworn decks. Really, I feel like Lightsworns can't play this as well as other decks can. They made a card with Beatrice and Dante's effect in the same card. Yeah, yep. Pretty much, but it's like a Lightsworn monster. But I don't know why it's a Lightsworn monster because it's like, anyway. All right, Perpetual King Archfiend. Alright, Arch, 2 Fiend monsters. Once per turn during your standby, pay 500 or destroy this. Once per chain, if you pay life points, you can send 1 Fiend from your deck to the graveyard whose attack and defense is equal to the life points you paid. What? Once per chain, if a Fiend is sent to the grave, you can roll a 6-sided dice and apply it. Just fuck off, I'm not even reading this. This is so shit. Like, go away. Cliffort Genius. Left and right. 2 machines. Okay. Okay, so this is obviously very easy to summon. 1800. Very strong. 2 machines. Link summon card is unaffected by spell and traps and by activated effects from other Link monsters. Alright, thank you. We needed more towers in the game. Thanks, Konami. Once per turn, target 1 other face-up card you control and 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Both cards have their effects negated until the end of this turn. Oh wow, that's good. When 2 monsters are special summoned at the same time to the zone this card points to, you can add a level 5 or higher machine from your deck to your hand. Alright, very good, you know. A little bit slow. So I mean, you pendulum summon, link it away, and then you can negate one of your, like you can negate shell or something, and then attack for so much damage, and then yeah, really good. And then next turn, when you pendulum summon into its 2 zones, you can add scout. So, I mean, it seems more win more than anything. It's quite hard to like summon. Yeah, it's only counted by Vorse Raider, so you know it is very powerful. Yeah, it's all right, like, but you know, I think the best way to summarize the Cliffort is win more. It's win more. Like once you get the ball rolling, like it is really strong, but you know, it's like starting off like this, it's gonna be quite difficult to really get use of it, like turn one. Alright, Amorphage. So the only reason I'm showing this one is because it's like 2 plants, which is super generic. I've never read it in my life though. So bottom left and right, 2 plants, 1800. While your life is higher than your opponent's, this card and plant monster this card points to can't be destroyed by battle. Okay, that sucks. You contribute 1 monster this card points to and special a plant from your deck in defense. Holy shit. So you can do anything in the game with this card. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, if you gain life points, add a plant from your deck to your hand. Alright, so if we just completely ignore every effect of this thing, because like they're all useless, except you contribute 1 monster this points to and special a plant from your deck. Alright, so you can special Lone Fire Blossom. And Lone Fire Blossom special summons anything in the game. I mean, this fucking summons anything in the game that's a plant. So, you know, this is really good. Don't know, like Sylvans maybe. Can Sylvans put 2 plants on the field easily? I think they can. So, yeah, that's it's very good. The search effect is decent. Ancient Fairy Dragon. I mean, how are you making Ancient Fairy Dragon and this card at the same time? Like, what fucking deck are you playing that makes this and Ancient Fairy Dragon turn 1? Dumping Dandy using Bababoon, Predaplant Engine, and Evil Thorn all make this easily. And the Aroma Field Spell is searchable. Phoenixian Cluster Armless FTK is a lot more consistent with this card. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about now, but basically, if you can get 2 plants on the field, you can pretty much do anything in the fucking game with this card, because she summons Lone Fire, and then Lone Fire gets like Dandy, and then like, you know, you just fucking pop off and win the game. Alright, Heavy Metal Foes Electrum. I've already seen this thing do FTKs, so I'm pretty sure we know that he's broken. So it's 2 Pendulum Monsters. This is so fucking generic. This is so good. This card is so good, so good. Bottom left and right, 2 Pendulums, like, just so fucking good. Like, what more could you want? Like, it's just so good. If this card is link summoned, add a Pendulum from your deck, or from your deck to your extra face up. So I mean, it's fucking Rota. Like, it's literally on summon, just Rota. And then you can target 1 other face up card. So you can, and then you can pop the card that you just searched, and then add 1 face up Pendulum Monster from your extra deck to your hand. Alright, so you can pop that card and then add it back. Am I wrong? Or am I reading that right? So if I put something into my extra, like Luster Pendulum, and then pop it, can I just add that same Luster back? Yes or no? If so, that's really good. And if a card leaves your Pendulum Zone, draw 1 card. Okay, right. So the same card that you just wrote up for, you can now draw for it as well. Like, it's fucking broken. It's so good. It is so good. This card is just so good. Like, not even in Metal Foes, just everything. Just anything that has a fucking scale, like, is great with this card. Like, it's so strong. So strong. Yes, you can. Okay, yeah, it's fucking crazy. The Crystron, this thing is pretty silly. I mean, I was really hyped for this because, you know, it's a Crystron, but, you know, it does more things in non-Crystron decks. So it's so generic. Just 2 monsters, like 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner is like how you make this. Bottom left and right. Yeah, I've seen videos of this thing. It just does stupid things because on its link summon you can special a tuner from your deck. Like, just special a tuner from your deck, and we all know that does basically anything. During your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you can banish this card and special 1 tuner synchro from your extra. So you can special summon Klondax, or whatever his name is. Yeah, it's really good. The only issue, if we're talking about Crystrons, is yes, we are literally going to talk about Crystrons. Sorry, like, don't get me wrong. I know this thing does everything ever. And it does like so many FTKs and stuff, but I mean, I don't really want to focus on that since that's like not really realistic, because those decks are never really viable and they usually get banned or something, or I don't know. It's just not really something I'm interested in. But the issue is like, so that you can target one monster against where someone that has an effect in the game, blah blah blah. Synchro summon one machine from your. Okay, so Citri, for those of you who don't play Crystron, basically you have your entire deck pretty much revolves around like making what's that card called? What's that level 2 synchro that synchros on your opponent's turn? Fuck, I can't, my brain has gone black. Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron. Okay, so the entire Crystron deck is pretty much Formula Synchron, right? So what they need now is Konami need to now give Crystron a main deck support monster that does exactly what Citri does, except instead of synchro summoning, it link summons on your opponent's turn instead of synchro summoning. So currently they all synchro summon. So if you could make this guy on your opponent's turn, that would be really, really strong. So you could link into this guy and then banish him and then summon a there's so many cool plays you can do on your opponent's turn. Other than that, yeah, like summoning a tuner from your deck like is absurd. Like, just absurd. Like just so absurd. All right, we're at the finish line, boys. Last but not least, the Link VRAINS pack thing so far. Oh yes. Oh yes. I think what can I say? What can I say? It's just Burning Abyss. Alessandro Di Patria of the Burning Abyss. Best deck. He's the best deck. Best deck. Dark Fairy. Bottom left and right. Burning Abyss by name. 2 level 3 monsters. Cards, monsters this card pot. Remember in the Legacy of the Burning Abyss video, at the final chapter, chapter 13, we say, Burning Abyss has died. As long as Konami do not release a Burning Abyss Link monster or a Link monster with a Fiendish Rhino effect, we'll never see the deck again. Which was wrong anyway, because fucking Burning Abyss just topped the last YCS, but moving on. The very fact that this card exists and it has 2 of those effects. Not only is it a Burning Abyss Link monster, which I never thought they would do. I didn't think they'd give the deck more support, but somehow they fucking gave it more support. So not only did they give it more support, and they gave it a Fiendish Rhino effect as well. So it's a Burning Abyss by name, Link, and it has a Fiendish Rhino effect. It's just... So if we just completely ignore everything this card says on its text, it's still so good. It is still so good. Just because it's got 2 arrows and it's a BA. That alone makes this card so good, because you can, like, just... Like, if you have, like, Dante with Graph or Seer underneath... with Graph or Seer on the field... You could, like, this, you can just go, like for example, Tour Guide with this guy is like a 1 card Cherubini Beatrice, just with this, like, and Tour Guide. So, it's just so good. It is just so good. Like, sorry, not Beatrice, Dante. No, wait, no, is it? No, it's something else. But anyway, the point is, like, even if this was a vanilla, it's, like, so good. So monsters this card points to can't be destroyed by card effects. Alright, so the Fiendish Rhino effect. If this card on the field would be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, you can send 1 other card you control to the graveyard instead. You can send 1 level 3 monster from your deck to the graveyard and target a BA on the field. It gains attack and defense equal. Oh, yeah, okay, so you use this effect. So you, like, summon Tour Guide, and then you, like, send Graph to the graveyard, and then, like, you just... Yeah, like, you just and do anything. And it gains attack and defense, and yeah. So just so good. And, like, it gets really big as well. I think the biggest you can make it is 22, which is pretty big by Burning Abyss standards. You do 2G for Sangan, so you have a hand trap for the next turn. Yeah, okay, right. So you can link Sangan away as well, and you can search Maxi, and oh god, like, you just search any hand trap you want in the game with this guy, and and my body is, like, so fucking ready for this guy. I don't even know, how many would you play? Like, fucking 2 at least? God, I don't know, man. Like, just so good, so good. I mean, it's not, like, broken, because it's not broken. Well, I mean, sending anything you want to the deck is, like, really strong, I suppose. Gosh. Yeah, I just so happy. So happy. Alright. Okay, guys. Well, that's my review of the Link VRAINS pack so far. Thank you for tuning in if you're watching this on YouTube. I'm going to go back to the stream now and continue. So, yeah, that was all of the Link monsters from Link VRAINS pack that we know of so far. So, see you next time.